In this video, we're looking at discrete probability distributions. So a discrete probability distribution lists the probability for each value of a discrete random variable. And remember that it is our whole number variables. So a discrete probability distribution can be displayed in a table or a graph, and it's sometimes called a discrete probability function. We know it's a discrete probability function when we have P and then capital X equals lowercase x, where lowercase x is the score. So there are some properties that discrete probability distributions have, but they're very much similar to normal probability. So all possible values of x must be mutually exclusive. You can only get one, you can't get the other, you can't get two at the same time. All right, again, flipping a coin, you can't get heads and tails, you can only get heads or tails. And all the sum of all the probabilities must add up to 1. Another thing that's important to remember is uniform distributions, and this occurs if the probabilities are the same. So for example, rolling a die, each of the probabilities on rolling a die is 1 over 6. So 1 over 6, 1 over 6, 1 over 6, 1 over 6, and 1 over 6, all right? There's 6 numbers, and they each have 1 over 6 as the probability, so that's a uniform distribution. So here we're going to create a probability distribution table for our px there, our probability distribution function for x equals 3, 4, and 5. So if we look at the red box, we're going to focus on that first. What we're doing is we're changing our x to 3. So it's very similar to how we operate with functions. So our probability of 3 is going to equal 3 minus 2 over 6. So we get 1 over 6. So 1 over 6. We then go to green and we do the probability of 4. So we get 4 minus 2 over 6. So we get 1 over 3. And lastly, let's do the blue, the probability of 5. And we get 1 over 2. Now, if you look there, each of those would add up to give us 1. So that's our whole probability distribution. Now, when finding probability of multiple events, such as, let's say we were told here to find the probability, let me write this down, the probability of making x less than or equal to 4. Let's say we needed to find that given our probability distribution table we've made. Now, all we need to do is add up all the probabilities there. So, for example, this is going to be made up of the probability of 3 plus the probability of 4. So, the probability of 3 was 1 over 6, and the probability of 4 was 1 over 3. We end up adding them together, and we get a probability of 1 over 2. So you can use tables in that way to find what the probability of more than one event occurring is. So in this case, it was the probability of any number less than or equal to 4, so 3 and 4.